And I could see the way they sit there and listen to me. I could see the way they respond, and the way they're telling me stories about themselves, and the way it comes to the time to have a break, a 15-minute break. You know how I don't get up straight away with them, we still sit and talk. They just, that makes me feel that they're really enjoying it and there's some impact there.
She just said to me, as if I was going to squirm away, you're not just trying to get us to understand you, you're trying to get us to understand you when you might be at your worst.
Here's someone who didn't have a clue about Islam or what I'm about, and he just simply choked up because he saw another human being who had struggled.
They are getting to know what it's like to be a police officer and working with different people.
I think not just from a person speaking to our police, but how it's making a difference in the force. I think, and if it is, it should be something that goes on forever.
The reason that we police, if we go back to Sir Robert Peel's, when he developed the London Metropolitan Police Department, he really felt that police are the public and the public are the police, and that police really are just those who are being paid to do what is incumbent on all. At the Police Academy, we feel that this is really important to get this happening right at the start for our police recruits and for our protective service officer recruits. And so we do, in the first week, a lot of training around what we call the Introduction to Contemporary Policing, which is very much about setting the basis for what all policing about, which is working with the community.
My main project is Ambassadors of Hope, which is a project that gets people who've lived through major mental health issues, and they go out to the community and talk to community groups about their experiences, how they got through those issues and how they dealt with it, and where they're heading now, and what they're doing, and how they're back in the community.
I have a varied background in that I'm someone who has two Jewish parents, although not Orthodox. I'm someone who's experienced transgender issues, identify as bisexual. I've had to reclaim parts of myself in terms of being an introvert and being a highly sensitive person.
Culturally, I'm of Egyptian background, but I'm a bit of a mutt because even though my parents are Egyptian, I wasn't born there. I was born here in Australia. And I spent my schooling years in Dubai, and then I spent a good 14 years in Oklahoma in the United States, and now I'm back in Australia. So yeah, as you can see, culturally I'm a bit of a mix. Religiously, I identify as a Muslim.
I bring a diverse representation to community encounters, and the most obvious thing is that I'm a gay man, and the recruits get that pretty early, but that's not my primary representation. I'm a person living with HIV, and I actually have quite a dramatic story to tell in that I did HIV research before I contracted HIV, and I even did HIV brain research before it actually became a problem for my own brain. And so once we get into that, it's really a very dramatic story that they suddenly get quite a flood of information from me about my background.
This started all because our synagogue happens to be the oldest and largest synagogue in Victoria, and it's well known in the community, not only by the Jewish community but at large. And so the police, when they started this, the parties and the gatherings with all different ethnic groups and different religions and different communities, so we were part of it. So that's how they got to know me, and I just got involved, and I've been there since, and I feel comfortable.
I am Bunurong, Mari Mari, Yora Yora. I actually cover all of Southeast Australia. I had very bad views on our Victoria Police, and I guess talking to those that are going to be our new police officers, trying to make a difference in educating them on Aboriginal people and Aboriginal issues and history.
Really, it's all about how the police will be able to treat everyone with dignity and respect, because looking at the multicultural and the cultural issue the Victoria Police having with people from different backgrounds. And now they're getting to understand what are some of the ways or situations in which they will approach people and how people need to be treated.
Community encounters works more like speed dating, and this is the easiest way I know how to describe it.
Dry humidly described as a cross between speed dating and a living library book.
The recruits are divided up into groups, and the volunteers go around these tables to talk to each group as best as we can and as best as the time allows for it.
They can't say, tell me about yourself, and they can't say, and this is the second one, is something that's developed over time, what community are you from? Because people are multidimensional. Someone might be transgender, but they might be young, they might be senior, they might have mental health issues, etc. And that's really important that that multiplicity is worked on.
So a lot of the times I find myself repeating a lot of the answers because a lot of the questions are quite typical, but still there's always a different story that comes out. Perhaps the different way they ask or their own backgrounds are reflected through these questions, even if they are typical questions.
What they get out of being part of the community encounters is that they know that the police are real people and that they're connecting with a person with a mental health issue who is a person in their own right as well. So it really, they do see that they get police connecting with them as a person rather than just as maybe a task in their job.
You know, if people go out there and they see the approach of the police in a good, they think the police are coming, oh, here comes trouble. So when they see that what we're doing with this community encounters, we are talking to the police and how to go out there and talk to people, this is a great thing.
Well, I was afraid I was going to come to the attention of police. I did some very silly things that I wouldn't tell the police now because they were, you know, putting my life in danger and other people's lives in danger. And yes, I wanted the police to be able to understand that. I wanted them to understand that there was a pain behind this, that it wasn't about deliberate behaviour, it was about our fight to survive. And I wanted the police to be able to do the best for us when those occasions happen.
I do have this sense now, more comforting sense that, yeah, they're really not out to get us. Not that that's the idea that I generally had, but that is the general idea, I must say, within the community. And so even though I've always had respect for the Victoria Police, still it was great to have that reassurance. You know, they're really not out to get us. They do genuinely want to understand how to engage with us.
It's about us modelling to them that we work with the community, and that's our expectations, that when they get out to their police stations and their railway stations as protective service officers, that they are working with their community, not just policing for their community.
I guess it's one step at a time, you know, it's about changing one person's point of view, you know, and that's both from an Aboriginal point of view as well as a Victorian police point of view.
I think it's a very good thing for us to engage on this level, and hopefully it's something that will stay with them.
And that's been really helpful, and knowing that I can feel comfortable approaching more and more police, and knowing that other people can too, is just really gratifying to see.
Just try and talk to me and try and ask me, you know. Reassurance is sometimes the best thing we could have.
But this is what they should do in the schools and the community at large, because we people don't realize the religions and all the other backgrounds, what they really are, what their cultures are. So once they learn about whether it's Jewish religion or any other religion, once they learn about it, they change. Wow, I didn't know that. I hear this all the time. You know, I thought you guys are weirdos or something. And they learn what we are, and they start respecting us, and they change in their mind. They change how they feel about us. And I think it's important for the whole world to learn this, you know?